Welcome to a broadcast of the recent Lorain County Commissioners' General Meeting. Unless otherwise announced, meetings are held Wednesday morning at 9:30 at the Administration Building, 226 Middle Avenue, 4th floor, downtown Elyria. These are public meetings and you are invited to attend. Agendas are posted prior to the meeting at www.loraincounty.us. Click on Departments to see the Commissioners page, then click on View Agenda.
Morning, everyone. If you'll please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And our inspirational word for the day, be careful how you think. Your life is shaped by your thoughts. And this morning, our Commissioner Kokoski has the dog.
Great looking dog, too.
I don't understand why I don't weigh 175 pounds.
Okay.
What's
Come
it?
on.
You said your life is shaped by your thoughts.
Yeah, by your thoughts, I know.
You think I'm your mama, don't you? Look at you.
Thinking of that
Okay.
next great dish you're
Like, not
making.
your body.
Yeah.
We have a sweet little, come here, you're getting all tangled up here. Australian, or not Australian Shepherd, German Shepherd mix. Lot of energy, very cute, nice markings. Come here. Very friendly. She makes somebody a great pet, so you need to come and get her. She's available today for adoption. Come here. If you don't want a puppy, you want an older dog, we have lots of dogs. 30, come here, you. Come here. Except she doesn't like the leash so much. Okay, check us out on Facebook. You can see all the dogs that we have available. And just remember to adopt, don't shop. She got lots of energy.
Madam Clerk, this morning, before I think we get started with business, I know that Solid Waste is here to give us an update. And Tiffany, if you'd like to give us an update this morning from our Solid Waste Department.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Morning.
I brought with me Bob Shantz with Barnes Nursery. Just a refresher that we were very fortunate. Ohio EPA awarded us the 2016 Market Development Grant. So Barnes Nursery was awarded a total grant award of $66,538 to go forward with their purchase of 2 trucks
For food waste recycling, food waste collection.
here in Lorain County. So I just wanted to do a quick overview of that, if that's okay?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm going
Please.
to turn the floor over to Bob.
Okay.
Okay. Morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for your time. Yeah, like Tiffany said, there's an investment with the Ohio EPA putting in $66,500, as well as Barnes putting in $66,500, and it's for the purchase of 2 trucks. As we built this proposal, we talked with businesses and universities in Lorain County, and as we speak, we have we're getting a tour of Oberlin College, because we're going to start that in the month of September. Collecting their food waste for recycling, we make it into compost and soil products, and are always looking for closed loop opportunities. Oberlin College is one of those where they actually buy back the soils and use them on their facilities. But we also been collecting food waste from Bendex, and we have other businesses that we have proposals out to. So this is an immediate, customers been asking for it in your county, and we're providing that service with this equipment.
Beautiful. Now, are you reaching out to our restaurants?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. We sort of look at, like, we were looking for anchor customers, and then we just build around that, and we build routes.
Okay. Things that are close to larger customers.
Yes.
Wonderful. Love the organics part of it.
Okay.
And this is a pass-through grant, so the district doesn't have money invested in this. This is strictly state and Barnes
Yeah, these are good grants. Doesn't require any local dollars. Solid Waste Department did a real good job partnering. Barnes been a good partner. We've had other workings with your organization,
Yes.
so it's always been a really great partnership to bring dollars back to Lorain County. Good job on the Solid Waste Department,
very good.
Tiffany and Keith and company.
Excuse me, on that, this is the third time I've wrote a grant or helped write a grant and got it, and I've worked with 3 different counties, and I have to say that working with Lorain County Solid Waste, they've been the most efficient and just walked me through it very, very easily.
Well, that's always perfect to hear. You hear that, Brad? You can
Tiffany,
quote
how
that.
much did you pay him to
I
say
did.
that?
But we do work hard.
Yeah, I know.
So who ends up driving the 2 trucks?
Employees, I mean, we're hiring people. We have ads out on, and I'm using some veterans to get it started, and then we're
That's
going to
great.
be putting some newer people in to drive it.
Okay.
2 new jobs, huh?
Yeah.
The original proposal
Right.
included
Right.
2 new jobs. Yes.
Great, look forward to working with you again in the future. There's going to be more opportunities.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you. Okay, so this doesn't require action today?
No, it doesn't really require any action. I just wanted to make sure the board was aware
Okay.
of the work that was being done, and we can just move on.
Thank you. Nice job, Tiff.
Yeah. Madam Clerk, go back to the agenda.
Under Resolutions Number 1, Investments,
So move.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Lundy,
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Appropriations,
So move.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Hey, go ahead. I'll second. Go ahead.
Discussion. Mr. Lundy,
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Transfers,
So move.
He said so.
That's a second.
This will be one of the days.
I was just waiting,
Discussion. Mr. Lundy,
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
No advances, no repayments, requisitions,
So move.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Lundy,
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Travel,
So move.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Lundy,
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Bills,
So move.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Lundy,
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Under the airport, approve modification 1 and 2 to Richland Engineering Limited, Mansfield, in a total amount of $105,631 for engineering services at the airport to provide ongoing construction services, construction observations, construction administration, and record drawings for rehab Taxi B East. This is a 95% reimbursable grant. Local share is $5,281.55.
Administrator Cordez?
Well, it's some additional funding, which is always nice. I can't miss an opportunity to remind people that we were required to keep the airport open. This is a little bit more of the Kool-Aid that if you drink it, you owe them for 20 years. I always want to advise you that every time we accept FAA dollars, but the work still has to be done out there. You don't take these dollars, you still got to do the work. So, a lot of folks that I talk to, they just really have a lot of heartburn about the airport. I'm not down on the airport. Some people think I am. It's just, it really is, it's challenging to explain to the taxpayers when we're so short of funds and they go out there and they don't understand the financing and where all the money comes from, that we have a limited amount of money that we put in locally into that airport. So if I'm repetitive and I keep talking about it, I apologize, but I really think it needs to be talked about a lot. For a few $1,000s, we're bringing back a lot more federal dollars to the airport. And of course, the work will be done by people in Lorain County, hopefully, when the bids go out, and so that keeps people working too.
You need to make a motion.
So move.
Second.
Any further discussion? Mr. Lundy,
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Under the Commissioners, authorize various personnel actions as indicated on the summary sheet for employees within the jurisdiction of Lorraine County Commissioners.
Administrator Cordez?
Well, I passed the sheet. I think Mr. Kalo was waiting on a stalk today. So I yield on needing any executive session, and we can talk about some issues I have next week. I passed the sheet. If you just want to pass a resolution on it, that'd be fine.
So move.
Motion to approve the personnel summary sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Second.
Any further discussion? Mr. Lundy,
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Advertise and waive the reading of the minutes of August 17th.
So move.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Lundy,
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Advertise notice for bidders for Courthouse Phase 1 site development package. Estimate cost of Phase 1 is $370,000. Notice being the Chronicle on August 29th and September 5th. Mandatory pre-bid meeting at 9 a.m. on September 6th at the site and open at 2 p.m. on September 15th.
Administrator Cordez?
Well, it's begun.
There you go. That's good.
A lot of prep work, a lot of changes. There's going to be probably about an 18 to two-year period. They think it's going to be less than 18 months. I really think it's going to be a little bit more than that, given the logistics of the building. We're going to make the move here soon. We're moving all of the people and all their assorted support mechanisms, computers, desks, chairs, everything. And even though it's just going a block away, it's still quite an event to seamlessly move them and close one building, open another, and be ready to go the same day. I want to tell you that it's things with the adult probation department, the courts have settled in. We seem to have a good handle on what's going on and a cooperative coalition. I'm pleased with that. Sometimes our relationship has been a little tense, and I'd like to point out when it's going well. It's going to require everybody to be really patient through this whole thing. And I will tell you that we also have to close off and fence off the whole courthouse, so we might as well tell the public now, because we're going to have construction fence around the whole perimeter of that, and we're going to be we're going to have Court Street closed for a couple days so we can repave all of Court Street in front of the Justice Center. That's going to be part of all of that first work. And we're doing that in conjunction with the City of Elyria. As you know, they're redoing 3rd Street, and they're taking the turning lane out. So we're going to push out. We're going to do the sidewalks. We're going to push all that out. We were going to do that anyway. They were going to do it anyway, so we got some cooperation on how to do all of that. We're going to put wider sidewalks in over there.
So everything lines up.
So everything lines up straight down the street. It's going to be a really nice streetscape. We're going to change out some of the lights, put the ones that the city uses, so we have a nice view that's similar. And same thing with the trees going down the road. Elyria has promised to use our pedestals because we installed new ones just last year on the side of this building, and of course the ones at the Justice Center are only a few years old. These lights on the side of this building are on our grid, our electric, our transformer, but everything else is on the city grid. Still doesn't make any sense not to deal with them on the lights down here. It's really starting to look real fine in the downtown area, and we're going to complete that picture with doing this work on the courthouse. One of the things I do want to tell you, you asked Commissioner Kokoski about a bit of a wall behind that area where we were going to have seating, promenade for lack of another term. We're working on reusing the stairs, the sandstone stairs that we're taking out of the courthouse to preserve, because we have to take those back stairs out. There was some concern because it really changes a little bit of the back of the building. So we're going to try to repurpose the sandstone we're taking out and use it in that area to kind of pull it all in. Nice. So just give you a brief update on that, because I know you had asked about the lights and stuff back there. So people are going to have to be patient with us. A lot of changes coming.
And those stairs have been reworked in the past.
They have been reworked in the past. Right. But we're going to preserve the sandstone and use it in the project elsewhere. Right. That helps, especially with the historical people. They've been really good to work with once they came in and they understood the dynamics of what we were dealing with. The small extension on the back, they seem to appreciate how we incorporated that into the look of the courthouse more fully. They had a conceptual idea that it could have worked if we didn't have a problem inside the building. It wasn't the outside that was a problem installing, it was the inside, given where the walls are, and you can't move those sandstone walls in there. They're very thick, and they're the support mechanism. The biggest work is putting the 3rd floor, finishing all that 3rd floor and reinstalling a whole new 3rd floor. That's the biggest piece, and that required us to put a fire suppression system in, which added a substantial amount of cost to the project. But once you do that kind of modification, you have to, not that the building isn't up to code, but there's newer codes depending on how much renovation you do. You have to move to the newer codes if a percentage of floor space is disturbed. Once you decided that we needed to complete out that 3rd floor, and I think I've told you, the courts have informed me that there may be a move by the state to go out of the parole business, which, if it's much like the pre-sentencing, may be something that's pushed down onto the counties, the local governments to pick up some of that responsibility. So that space may be full before it's even built. So I think you made a good decision on that, if not for the present day, for the future. So it all begins. Please be patient. I expect several unthought of things to occur as we do this.
What's the goal to get the probation office over to Broad Street right now?
I'm hoping for about the second week of September. We're working on that. We finished the roof over there, so folks out there know what we're doing. Instead of trying to rent space lots of places, we received the building through the tax foreclosure at no cost, and then we put some money into updating the building, roof, repaired the HVAC. So we'll get our money back out of that, and then once the adult probation is done using that building, we've had some thoughts on other county departments that'll be going into that building. So that really preserved our funding to make sure that we had an asset going forward.
So it'll free up a lot of the parking for now so we can redo the streetscape?
There's probably not going to be any parking over there for a while. Remember, we're putting the construction fence down. Once we redo Court Street, there'll be the parking off of Court Street that belongs to Elyria. We're working on with them right now to obtain that parking as part of the project, and they've seemed to be willing partners. And Jerry had a conversation, I believe, with the law director there, and to start moving and doing that. But even though those street people, they're not really on the street, they're recessed a bit because if you know where the easement is there. Right. But we're going to have construction vehicles coming in and out of that fenced area there, because that whole parking lot's where we're going to stage the construction folks out of. Mm-hmm. So I don't think there's going to be any parking over there at all, which is going to be a little problematic for the public. And of course, when we do Court Street, I have to deal with the church there because they have their daycare and their school there, and they use that out. It's always full there. So I got to redo the traffic through our back parking lots. I'm working on a plan now. It's not something that can't be accomplished. It's going to take some time and effort and get the word out. So I hope to have that plan finished up in about the next week to 10 days, go over to church so they can start talking to their folks. It's only a few days of inconvenience, but it's an inconvenience nonetheless. The biggest inconvenience is going to be for the public. There's going to be very limited public parking in front of the Justice Center, and then you're going to have a lot of construction vehicles there. And even the bit of parking that is still there, I will tell you, no matter how much we try, we're going to have construction workers parking in those spots. We know from when we did the Justice Center, much as we asked them out to park in the public spots, they get there early and they filled up the lots. Mm-hmm. So that's going to really even make it worse downtown around the Justice Center and the county building. I'm not sure how to deal with that because it's a public parking lot, and they are public. Whether they're down here to work or not, they are public. Right. And I couldn't tell you, a construction worker from a guy coming in to pay his tax bill when they pull into the lot. So even if we monitored the lot, it's going to be challenging. It's going to be tough. So people should plan on that. They should plan on a reduced amount of availability of parking. It'll be more significant when we get into phase 2 of the project. So they should give themselves some ample time.
It's a nice challenge to have. I think that I want to thank you for all the time and effort you've been putting into it, and certainly want to thank the judges for working with us on this. I want to thank my colleagues too for being very supportive in making this possible. It's important that we preserve the most important, I think, historic landmark in the county that we certainly identify with. But it's more than just preserving the building. It's actually giving it a functional governmental use. And I think that certainly justifies the investment that we're making. It's great for the downtown. It's certainly the signature piece for the square.
When it's done, I anticipate that people will look at the building in a whole new light. Mm-hmm. And that's a pun, because when all of the landscaping that's around the building now that's really not in good condition is always, I think, crippled the look of the building. When that's all taken down and everything's re-sculptured, there's 2 monuments there. We know that the Workers' Monument is there, mm-hmm. but few people know that there's a World War II monument on the other side of the courthouse that's very neglected, doesn't get much respect. Those things are going to be, as I showed you the plans, re-sculptured. There's going to be some meditation bench there. The whole building is going to be uplit, and the balconies are going to be uplit. The front of the building is going to be redone. Anything that wasn't original is going to be taken out. The stairs are going to be redone. The building's going to be scrubbed, cleaned. We haven't done that in 15 years. And I think the whole look is just going to pop off of Eli Square right into the front of the courthouse. And people are going to see a whole new look that I think that it's been missing from the courthouse.
Yeah, I was quite concerned that one member of this board in the past had talked about making it into a homeless shelter, had talked about possibly destroying the building. Crazy talk. But thank goodness we're doing something productive and beneficial for the whole community and actually putting the building to use. Any other comments? So I'll move that we advertise, notice the bidders for the
This has been a
courthouse
broadcast
site
of the
development
recent Lorain
package.
County Commissioners' General Meeting. Unless otherwise announced, meetings are held Wednesday morning at 9:30 at the Administration Building, 226 Middle Avenue, 4th floor, downtown Elyria. These are public meetings, and you are invited to attend. Agendas are posted prior to the meeting at www.loraincounty.us. Click on Departments to see the Commissioners page. Then click on View Agenda for a printable copy of the agenda.
Thank you, too.
Man, it's been a long time working on these ditch pine. That's a big one there. So.
Well, you know, maybe you want to explain what we're doing, because, you know, we don't do enough of that, I don't think. And I know you're in a hurry, but this project has been a very frustrating one. Almost as frustrating as trying to get a small piece of storm drain over on Grafton Road, which is probably the longest project in the history of mankind to get the shortest piece of pipe fixed. But remember, when we bought the property, somebody had logged it out. It turned into wetlands, so we couldn't go back there and put the retention basins in that we planned on. We renegotiated the price of the land because it had less value because it was not able to be a detention, excuse me, I said retention, detention area. So we filed for a grant to basically do stream restoration. And that stream restoration will result in a retention area that'll slow the flow of water going into Sheffield Township. Hopefully the fire station won't flood after this, and there's some properties back in there, and hopefully this gives some relief to the city of Lorain. Now, we haven't partnered with the city of Lorain on the cost of this because we're not holding back as much water. Our original idea was, and the city showed a willingness because we could hold back so much water on the detention project, that they would partner economically with us. I have not reapproached them because I really can't guarantee how much water we're going to hold back. I know we're going to hold back enough to deal with Sheffield Township's problem. We're looking for other property. I don't really want to talk much about it because we're in the acquisition phase, but there could be a phase 2 to this that will alleviate some of that flooding down on
East 36th Street.
Right, down in that area down there. Solid waste, community development deserves a lot of credit. Don Romanchik and his folks, the Stormwater District, because we didn't give up on this project. We just rethought how we could do something and applied for different dollars. And remember, when we were doing the detention, it was 100% on dollars. Now that we're doing the retention to stream restoration, we're bringing outside dollars into the project. So we got some grant money for this from outside. So
Significant amount of money.
it's going to be a good project. And you're right, I'm glad it's underway too, because there's been too many setbacks on this. So it's nice to be moving forward.
Yeah, wonderful. Nice job, Don.
Thank you. And the total project is not the 295. I called them yesterday. It seemed like, $295,000, and it's $234 for the consultant services. The project's over $1 million, correct?
It's going to end up being over $1 million. People don't realize how expensive preventing flooding is. It's very expensive, and out in the township's a very emotional issue too, with how these things are dealt with. One of our greatest successes has been the stormwater district. As you know, we have several long-range, multi-million-dollar projects that we're doing in phases over time now that are going to benefit the community. I'm still waiting for that collaborative project with one of the cities. We thought this was going to be the one, and when we get the other land, we'll go back and talk to them again.
Okay, so move.
Second.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kalo.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Work contract and Infinity Paving Company, Northfield Center, Ohio, in the amount of $31,375, which includes a contingency for the North Ridgeville ADA Walkway Phase 2 project. 2 bids were received on April 22nd, this being the most responsive, complying with specifications. Issue notice to proceed on or before August 25th and complete on or before October 31st. Authorize administrator to notify the auditor to release retainage at completion of project.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Award contract to Concrete and More, Inc., Avon Lake, in the amount of $4,400, which includes contingencies for any unforeseen change orders for Sally Zimmerman at 241 Morewood, Avon Lake, to receive grant assistance for storm sanitary lateral separation and be paid from the Ohio Trust Fund account.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Under Job and Family, authorized purchase service agreement with El Centro, Lorain for Business English and Work Experience Program for TANF participants for fiscal state or federal fiscal year 17, in the amount of $26,234.29, effective October 1st, 2016 through September 30th, 2017. Authorized director to execute on behalf of the Board of Prosecutors' approval as to form.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Authorize various purchase of service agreements for Title 20 Social Service Block Grant Fund services for federal fiscal year 17, effective October 1st, 2016 through September 30th, 2017. Authorized director to execute on behalf of the Board of Prosecutors' approval as to form. 1, Lorain County Children and Family Council to provide case management in the amount of $78,002.78, and Neighborhood Alliance Elyria for emergency shelter service in the amount of $50,000.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Amendment Resolution 16255 adopted April 27, 2016, authorizing purchase service agreement with Boys and Girls Club for summer camp for low-income children using TANF funds, effective retroactive July 1st, 2016 through August 12, 2016. Amendment is to reflect an increase of $102,375 for 500 campers, contract amount of $511,875, and authorized director to execute on behalf of the Board of Prosecutors' approval as to form.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Amendment Resolution 16276 adopted May 4, 2016, authorizing purchase service agreement with Common Ground, the Cindy Nord Center for Renewal, Oberlin, for summer camp for low-income children using TANF funds, effective retroactive June 20, 2016 through July 29, 2016. Amendment is to reflect a decrease in the amount of $19,000, contract amount of $14,000 for a decrease of 50 campers, and authorized director to execute on behalf of the Board of Prosecutors' approval as to form.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Authorized purchase service agreement with Common Ground Oberlin in the amount of $163,137 to provide personal development training classes to TANF and FATE recipients in federal fiscal year 17, effective October 1st, 2016 through September 30, 2017, and authorized director to execute on behalf of the Board of Prosecutors' approval as to form.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Cortez.
I have no further comments this morning, thank you.
Mr. Ennis.
No report this morning.
Oh, boy.
Commissioners report.
Well, Thursday, I attended the Planning Commission meeting. We had a couple of zoning issues, one in Eaton Township and one in Amherst Township. Saturday, I attended an event for Ron Nabokowski, our clerk of courts, who passed away earlier this year. I want to thank the guys from Labor who did a great job of cooking the steaks. They were really good. I brought my own knife like I always do, and I barely even needed it.
Such
so.
a smart thing to
I
do.
know, I always
Bring your
do.
own knife.
Bill Flynn taught me that.
Yeah.
Remember Councilman
Oh,
Flynn?
jeez.
Oh, yeah.
Red.
Red Flynn. Then I headed out to Sheffield Village for a fine arts festival held by True North Cultural Arts. Met a lot of really nice people and great music and arts of all different types. And then wanted to let people know tomorrow, August 25th, is Operation Street Smart. It's an adult drug education program. It's going to be 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock tomorrow evening at the Lorain County Community College Stocker Arts Center. It's a free event, and it's put on by the Sheriff's Department and the Lorain County Drug Task Force. Then also save the date for September the 8th for the Agricultural Tire Collection, which is going to be September the 8th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's at our Lorain County Collection Center, which is at 540 South Abbey Road in Elyria. You do have to register for the event. Call ahead of time. Let them know what you're going to be bringing. The phone number is 1-800-449-5463 or 440-328-2368. And I'll give this to Hal so he can put this up on the screen for you. So if you have any agricultural tires head out to our collection center for that event.
What's the date on that?
It is September the 8th
Okay, I'm hoping that the next one will be out in Grafton.
at our new,
We're working with them on the regional tire collection at the town hall there.
Mhm.
So maybe it's because the work isn't going to be completed that it's still up here, but I think it'd be much more convenient for the folks that are bringing agricultural tires if we
To bring
use a
them
site in Grafton.
really, yeah.
Thank you.
I will have all this, because there's a lot of information on here, so I'll just have Hal put this up on the screen for those of you watching this by television. And in my report.
Wonderful. Yeah, busy week. Fundraiser, steak fries, again, a nice turnout for the benefit run, Kokoski's family. But this week, I chaired the meeting, Keep Lorain County Beautiful. It was held at the Palace Civic Center in downtown Lorain. As always, Kurt Hernan and the people from the Palace do a good job presenting and showing off one of the jewel of downtown. A lot of discussion about the upcoming plantings and the flowers, reharvesting bees. So that'll be kicking off. What else did we have this week? I'm trying to look through my calendar because I didn't write it down. See, Nabby's. Oh, happy birthday to Joe Kazura. They had a surprise birthday party for Joe Kazura on Sunday. He was 70, so.
Still kicking it over there.
Joe's turned 70, correct.
Still won't get out of the game, huh?
Still won't get out of the game. Some of them old timers, you know, to pry
He
him
got
away.
like 62 years in PRS. I think he started as a child, didn't he? Happy birthday, Joe.
Yeah. And when we finish here, I'll be taking off because they're inducing my daughter Nicole today. I have a granddaughter due shortly.
So what is it? Is the 27th one for you?
The 6th. This is number 6.
Wow.
End of my report.
Just want to commend all the organizers who put together a voter registration awareness gathering at the Greater Christ Temple here in Elyria. I was asked to go over there and speak, and I just can't stress enough the importance of not only registering to vote, but actually voting. Trying to remind people of all the folks during the whole civil rights movement who worked so hard for everybody's right to vote. Unfortunately, some people losing their lives just for simply going out to try to register voters. So I think out of respect and honor to them, should always remember the importance of the people who came before us so that you can actually vote today. And of course, we had the recent anniversary of the women's right to vote, coming up on almost 100 years. Hard to believe. There was a period in time where women couldn't vote. What was that all about?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was crazy, wasn't it?
Look
So-
at us now, going to be president.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. So, also, thank you to all the organizers. I know Joe Kazura, Labor, a number of organizers put together Ron Nebkowski's Memorial Steak Fry, and just really enjoyed running by Ron's office and going to lunch and talking politics and talking about his old days in the State House and how much he loved the working for the lottery, and how he thought I was totally crazy when I ran for commissioner, saying it was the worst job he ever had. But Ron was just a great guy and a good family there. So it was nice to be able to be there with so many in the community for that memorial steak fry. Also want to commend Janine Donaldson and the Fair-Minded Coalition of Lorain County for their rally around the flag as the community group continues to express its concern with the marketing of the Confederate flag at the county fair. That concludes my report.
Board correspondence.
I move to approve the board correspondence and waive the reading.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kalo.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Public comment.
Anyone wishing to make public comment this morning during our public comment section? No? Okay. Seeing no one wishing to participate in public comment, any other action to come before the board? Seeing no action to come before the board, I would move that we adjourn.
Second.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Kalo.
Aye.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
We're adjourned.
This has been a broadcast of the recent Lorain County Commissioners' General Meeting. Unless otherwise announced, meetings are held Wednesday morning at 9:30 at the Administration Building, 226 Middle Avenue, 4th floor, downtown Elyria. These are public meetings, and you are invited to attend. Agendas are posted prior to the meeting at www.loraincounty.us. Click on Departments to see the Commissioners page, then click on View Agenda for a printable copy of the agenda.